revision on Friday. Just revive with the topics of Unit 1 and Unit 2. I'm continuing with Unit 3, and you have a revision of MCQs of Unit 1 and 2 with the questions of 10 quiz that you have. So here, let me discuss about the question paper, how you have the pattern. Like this time we were instructed to give a little bit logical or little bit indirect, like was being given instructions by the coordinators. So here what we have done is the questions are as regular as you attempt in your quiz. Like we have been doing quiz right from the beginning, isn't it? So the questions are mostly the same. 2 to 4 questions would be altered by match the following, or is all the above is the option, or any one of the above is the option, like that. So don't be in a hurry to answer. Sample, Nana, sample, Janavi, it's not required as the same pattern what you have for your regular quiz. Even on Monday, I have conducted a quiz, isn't it? Today also you have a quiz. So the pattern is same, more likely same, but 2 to 4 questions would be changing based on match the following. You know, what do you mean by match the following? Refer to, like, I'll give you the options and you can easily select. Like, for example, price elasticity is positive, negative, income elasticity is negative or positive, or unity elasticity is equal to 1, or what, unitary elasticity. So like that, you can select the options A, B, C, D, like that. And even the logical questions where you don't, what I suggest you all is, don't be in a hurry to answer. Read the question twice and listen what it's actually asking you to opt for. Like it may be 2 of the above, or 3 of the above, or all the above, or what would be the options. So here we even have the logical question. So it may not be direct. So unless and until you read the question thoroughly, you can't answer. But the concepts are one and the same, where we have covered each and every concept that we have in Unit 1 and Unit 2. So you need not worry about the concepts. But the thing is, I insist you all to read the question thoroughly and then answer. Don't be in a hurry to answer, as you have 40 minutes and you have 20 questions. So each question has 2 minutes. So you have more time to read the question, select the option, and then after selection also, please recheck again all the 20 questions, confirm, and then submit your quiz, okay, or your mid one, as it's MCQs. So therefore it would be easy. But the thing is, read the question properly and then only answer. Don't be in a hurry to answer and finish off and submit. Why? Because this is a chance for you to increase your CGPA. Why? Because it's not descriptive, it is just MCQs. So don't miss this chance. And even BEFA can contribute to increase your score. So therefore, don't be in a hurry to lose marks. Take time, read the question, and then only answer. So this is what I want to tell you. And we'll just revise the concepts of Unit 1 and Unit 2 on Friday. So, and for the revision, I have given you the quiz, which I'll start at 11:40 and so, okay. So we'll start with Unit 3, where we have stopped yesterday. So this is what yesterday we have started with Unit 3. And CS, please take care of the students who have joined late and the attendance as well. Akash or Janavi, who is going to give me the attendance, please take care of the students who have joined late.
Okay.
Yeah. So here on Monday we have started with Unit 3, and as I said, Unit 3 constitutes 4 parts: production analysis, cost analysis, then we have market structures, and the last one is a pricing. So, and we have started with the production analysis. What do you mean by production analysis, and what do you mean by production function? Production function is nothing but maximum output derived out of a given set of inputs is known as production function, definition given by Michael Bay. And here it is expressed in the following formula, where Q is equal to function of L1, L2, COT. So L1 refer to land, labor, capital, organization, and technology. So these are the factors of production, what we say it as inputs used to manufacture the output. And we have production functions. We have started with the production function with one variable input factor, isn't it? One variable input factor is also known as, there are two other names. What are those?
Law of variable proportion, law of diminishing returns.
Returns, very good. So these are the two other names for production function with one variable. And what do we mean here? One variable. What are we assuming to be variable here? Which factor is variable?
Units of labor.
Yeah, very good. Very good, Nana. Units of labor is variable. And what are the other factors that we are keeping fixed? We are keeping land fixed, we are keeping capital fixed, and we are keeping technology also fixed, varying with the labor. And what happens to the production, which can be studied in three stages? What are the three stages? Increasing returns, then stagnation, constant, then decreasing returns. So this is what law of variable proportion, which can be classified into three stages and studied with three concepts, that is average production, marginal production, and total production. These are the three curves which shows us what happens to the total production and what happens to the average production, what happens to the marginal production. We have even seen with the table as how is it decreasing. And marginal production has even went up to -3, that is 0 to -3 is what we have seen yesterday in this table as how to calculate average revenue, marginal revenue based on the total production. Average production, marginal production, and total production. And as I said, you need not buttify this table. It is just for your knowledge to make you understand what's happening to total production, what's happening to marginal production, and what's happening to the average production when labor is varying, keeping other factors of production fixed. So this is what we have seen yesterday, that is on Monday, regarding one variable production function. So all of you got this? And we have, I think we have even started with two variable production function. Did we start, Nana?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and this concept will be studied. What are the two factors that we are taking here? We are taking two factors such as capital and labor, two variable input factor, and loss of returns, or we say it as production function with two variable input factors, which will be studied by taking two variables. What are the two variables? The first one is capital and second one is labor. And what happens here? Can anyone tell me?
We increase one factor and decrease another factor.
Yeah, and here, why do we increase and decrease?
So that the return remains, output remains same.
Yeah, to get the same level of output, we have taken how many combinations of two factors? 6 combinations of these two factors, that is capital and labor. And if we are increasing one, we are decreasing the other to yield the same level of output. So therefore, we say this as this concept is studied with the help of two, that is isoquant and isocost. This is one curve of isoquant which shows 6 combinations. And if you observe, we are increasing capital, we are decreasing labor to yield 20,000 units of output. Output refer to units that have been manufactured by taking two sets of capital and labor with various combinations. And what are we keeping fixed? We are keeping land fixed, we are keeping technology fixed, and varying capital and labor by options of 6 combinations. So this we have studied with the help of isoquant. What do you mean by isoquant? Iso refer to same, quant refer to quantity, and quantities throughout an isoquant are equal. And here one isoquant is what we are seeing here, and isoquants are also known as isoproduct curve. Isoquant is also known as isoproduct curve. So these questions you may get as MCQ. So each and every concept you should be thorough, where you will get MCQs based on the concept wise. Okay. So isoquant are also known as isoproduct curve. And what are the four features of isoquant? It is downward sloping, same as a demand curve from left to right. Convex to the origin. Why? Because these are not two perfect substitutes and do not intersect each other. Why? Because each isoquant represents a particular level of output, never touches the axis. Why? Because why does never an isoquant touches any axis? Why do you think? Yesterday we have discussed it, isn't it?
Zero capital, zero labor. Cannot be.
Yeah, cannot be possible. Production cannot be continued with either zero capital or either zero labor, but can be continued minimum of either. So therefore we say that never does an isoquant touches either x-axis or y-axis, as both are required to get a given set of output. So this is about isoquant. And did we do the marginal rate of technical substitution, MRTS, in the last class? No? So marginal rate of technical substitution is nothing but this one. That is the fourth column that I have added here, MRTS. What do you mean by MRTS? Marginal rate of technical substitution. What we are doing in two variable input factor is, when we are increasing one, we are decreasing the other, isn't it? So at what rate are these two input factors substituted is known as the concept of marginal rate of technical substitution. And how is it calculated? Just observe, all of you see the screen now. The first one is 0. While we calculate all the marginal concepts, we keep the first one as 0. And how did you get 5:1? It's nothing but the difference between the labor and capital. 20 minus 15 is 5 and 1 minus 2 is 1. So 5:1. And then 15 minus 11 is 4 and 3 minus 2 is 1. So therefore 4:1, 3:1, 2:1 and 1:1. This is nothing but at what rate are these two input factors are substituted. That is known as another small concept in two variable input factor known as marginal rate of technical substitution. And we have even discussed what do you mean by substitutes or substitution. These are not close substitutes or perfect substitutes, isn't it? Can labor totally replace capital? Can labor totally replace capital or capital totally replace labor? Is it possible?
No.
No, we can't carry out the business as both are required. They are not perfect substitutes, but can be substituted to an extent, as we have 6 combinations of output. So this is another concept in marginal rate of technical substitution in two variable input factor. Now going to the next one, that is isocost. As I said, two variable input factor would be studied with the help of two concepts, that is isoquant and isocost. Isoquant refer to same quantity throughout an isoquant are equal, or quantities throughout an isoquant are equal. And isocost refer to the cost curve that represents combination of inputs that will cause the producer to give same level of money or same amount of money for a given level of production. This is known as isocost. There it is quantity, here it is cost. Is that clear? It is nothing but what are the factors of production's cost that is incurred by the producer, the same amount to give the level of production for a given level of production. That is known as isocost. Is that clear? Like each and every factor of production incurs cost, isn't it? What is the cost of capital? What do you mean by cost of capital? Sources of capital, we have discussed this, isn't it? Unit 1, we have discussed sources of capital. In that, cost of capital refer to, what do you mean by cost of capital? Like for example, loan. If I raise loan, what is the cost of capital for loan?
Interest.
Very good. And what is in the case of equity shares and preference shares? What is the cost of capital for equity shares and preference shares? Anyone in the class? What do the company pay on shares?
Profits.
Dividends.
Very good. Dividends. Dividends is what the cost of capital for shares. And what is cost of capital for debentures? What do the company pay on debentures? అన్న మొత్తం మర్చిపోయారు అందరు హాలిడేస్ లో
కూపాన్ రేట్స్ మ్యామ్
ఏంటన్నా
కూపాన్ రేట్స్
interest is what we pay on debentures. Okay, the company pays interest on debentures. The cost of capital for debentures is interest. Did you forget, all of you? Cost of capital is nothing but what does the company incur, or what is the cost that the company need to bear by raising capital, isn't it? As I said, shares ante dividends, debentures ante interest, loan ante interest, isn't it? This is known as cost of capital. In unit 1 we have sources of capital classified into 3: long term, mid term, short term. Do you remember, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, only one is ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is all about ISO cost. ISO cost refer to cost incurred. And what do you mean by cost here? Cost is nothing but in the case of capital, cost of capital. In the case of labor, cost of labor. What do you mean by cost of labor here? Wages paid to the labor, and wages are paid in two forms. What are the two forms that we pay to the labor? Methods of payment of labor. How are labor paid? Labor are paid wages, employees are paid salaries, isn't it? So what are the two ways as to how we pay the labor? Hourly base, number of hours worked into per hour, or piece wage system, number of pieces manufactured into per piece is what the way we pay the wages. Did I discuss this earlier? Nana, don't you remember anyone? This is a
No.
general common sense that we normally apply when we hire labor even in our day-to-day life, isn't it? Hourly base, or if we casual labor, if we take the concept of 9 to 5 per day, isn't it? Or if it is hourly base, per hour how much into number of hours worked, or if it is manufacturing of a pieces, then number of pieces manufactured into per piece, isn't it? This is how the labor would be paid. This is known as cost for labor. And what do you mean by the next one? That is the raw material. Raw material is nothing but the cost of purchase cost. So ISO cost refers to combination of all factors of inputs that are used to manufacture, or that are the cost to the producer which yields to a given level of output is known as ISO cost. And can you see a graph of 3 ISO costs representing 20,000, 30,000 and 40,000? And the cost for 20,000 is 1 lakh. The cost for 30,000 is 1.5, and the cost for 2 lakhs is for 40,000. So this is what each ISO cost represents. A particular level of cost to a given level of output is known as ISO cost. Is it clear, Nana? This is ISO cost and this is isoquant. And isoquant doesn't intersect each other. Why? Because if we increase the output, where does the isoquant shift? If we go for 30,000 units, isoquant shifts where? This is a curve of 20,000, isn't it? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So in the last class I said when you know two isoquants intersect each other, why? Each isoquant represents a particular level of output, isn't it? So if you
Capital and labor may not be equal at that point.
So if you increase your production, isoquant shifts upward. If you decrease your production, isoquant shifts downward, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Nana, are you following what I'm teaching, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Only Jahnavi and 63 have typed yes, and some Surya Tej have replied. Remaining doesn't bother to reply at least whether you are following or not. And if it's chala
ma'am.
simple, if you understand, it's very simple. If you don't understand, it's look like Greek and Latin. Chala simple concepts, simple common sense we use. So if you don't understand, ask me once again. As unit 3, 2 and 1 are scoring. Theory based kabatti. 4th and 5th would be tougher for you unless and until you work wholeheartedly. So please concentrate more on unit 3. As it's scoring and it's a big unit, you may get 2 expected questions from this. So therefore, I'm insisting, listen carefully. Ekkadaina ardham kapte, please ask. So that I'll repeat once again. Once you understand, it's very simple. If you learn on your own, it would be difficult. Are you following the flow? Wherever you don't understand, you just stop me and ask what you didn't understand. So till now, till isocost, did you follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you? Yeah. So isocost is the second concept that we learn in where? That we learn in two variable
Input factor.
two variable input factor. Now listen carefully. This is another concept in two variable input factor, that is least cost combination. Okay, what is least cost combination? Which combination of isoquant and isocost would be good or profitable for the company? Which combination of isocost and isoquant gives higher profits to the company? Lower cost ante obviously it leads to higher profits, isn't it? You know what? How do you arrive at profit? What is the formula for profit? How do you achieve profits, Nana? What is the formula? TC minus?
PR minus TC.
PR minus TC is equal to profits, isn't it? So if your cost comes down, obviously your profits would increase. So least cost combination helps the company or the manufacturer to identify which combination yields him higher profits. And how is this done? It's done by superimposing 3 isoquants with 3 isocosts. Okay, it is done by superimposing isoquant on isocost, isoquant of second isocost, and isoquant of third isocost. So like this, 3 isoquants are superimposed on isocost to see what is the minimum cost of production. And as per this law, what is minimum cost of production is the point where the isoquant is tangential to isocost. Such point is known as minimum cost of production. Is it clear, Nana? The point where the isoquant is tangential to isocost, that point is known as minimum cost of production. And here we have 3 combinations. P to manufacture 20,000 units, Q to manufacture 30,000 units, and R to manufacture 40,000 units. So there are 3 points P, Q, R if you go on expanding the level of production. Is that clear? And as per this law, which set would give you maximum profits is, as per least cost combination, Q. At point Q would be a good combination. Why? Because stopping at P would lead to underutilization or lower utilization of inputs. And proceeding to Q is a good decision where he can go for 30,000 units. And if we further expand to R, it would be a highly risky. So therefore, least cost combination would be better at point Q. Why? Because stopping at point P is not suggestible, as it is underutilization of resources, and expansion to R would be highly risky, is what this concept says. So therefore, least cost combination is nothing but where did the company, what is the point where the company would be at lowest cost of production. And here, these are the 3 points PQR, which gives different levels of production. That is known as least cost combination. And as per this law, it is suggestible to go for 30,000 units at point Q and stop there, not to take high risk to expand till R, is known as least cost combination. This is a small concept. You have to explain with the following diagram and write about what is P, what is Q, and what is R. Q1 is 20,000, Q2 is 30,000, Q3 is at 40,000. And explain about why are you opting for a point Q and stop there and not going for P or R. This is known as least cost combination. So 2 variable input factor law, what all you need to write if you get, what do you mean by 2 variable input factor of production? First one is isoquant. You have to draw the diagram and explain the features of isoquant. Or he may just ask, what do you mean by isoquant and isocost? Okay. So isoquant, you have to write what do you mean by isoquant with the diagram, then features. Then the second one is marginal rate of technical substitution. Then the third one is what do you mean by isocost? There are no features for isocost. You just explain with the graph as to what do you mean by an isocost. Cost incurred for the producer to yield same level of output at a particular level. Okay. So this is known as isocost. And what do you mean by least cost combination? So how many concepts are there in 2 variable input factor?
4.
4. Very good. There are 4 concepts. So if we ask total big question, what do you mean by 2 variable input factor of production? You have to write all the 4. If he just mentions what do you mean by isocost and isoquant, write about these 2, or just mention what do you mean by MRTS in short, or least cost combination. I have to draw the graph and explain what is least cost combination. Any doubts till here, Nana?
No, ma'am.
All of you are clear till here? Nana, ekkada edi ardham kappina cheppandi. It is very simple if you understand. Write neatly with the graph. Graphs chudangane the valuer would be flat, as you know everything. So therefore they will give you full marks. So graphs and diagrams plays a very important role. With a good explanation and a handwriting and the side headings will definitely fetch you with full marks. Ekkadaina a small concept also, if you didn't understand, tell me. If not, I'll proceed with the further small concept and stop for your quiz. Is this clear till here, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I explain any concept which is not clear? Now be open. I think by this time with me, and you need not hesitate to ask any doubts, because we have done with 2 units and this is our 3rd unit, and clearing the doubts is what important. And I'll forward this notes, and even this is there in your KMIT online drive. The same notes have been uploaded. Okay, just once confirm, Nana, CR, is this there in the drive or no, tomorrow or day after? MRTS, isocost, least cost combination. These are the 4 concepts that we have in 2 variable input factor. Any other doubts? No? All are sure?
Here.
7P. Are you clear? Is 7P there?